Welcome to Captain Graham's next video on charting to get ready for the U.S. Coast Guard class. Let's talk now about ship's compasses and headings. Here's a picture of North America, the world, and we have two North Poles. We have a true North Pole, which is up here, and that's where Santa Claus lives. That's the geographic North Pole. So when you look at a map or a chart and it says north, it has got lines that are going up to the North Pole. Now, we didn't have, for thousands of years, we didn't have GPS. So all we really had was an inexpensive ship's compass. And a ship's compass points to magnetic north, and that's a different place on the Earth. Northern Canada, there's a huge chunk of iron ore under the ground, and it's magnetic. So it doesn't actually point to the true north. Instead, your compass points to magnetic north. So I've got a compass on my boat, and it points north. But it is pointing to that magnetic north. So if I followed this, if I got in my boat and followed it, I would not be going north. It's dependent on where you're located on the Earth. So when I'm in Chicago, I have a certain difference between the two. If I'm in Long Island, instead of going straight north, it's going to go over there, and it's going to be a different angle. So this angle here is called the variation. Call it variation. And it never changes the value. Well, it doesn't change much. It is 14 degrees west. So it makes sense. It's pointing 14 degrees west. So in order to go true north, on my compass, I don't point my boat to north. Instead, I point it 14 degrees to the right. And if I do that, and I have no metal on my boat, it's a wooden boat, I just got a compass, I got no engine, I've got no metal at all, I will actually go straight north by pointing 14 degrees to the right of north. Okay? So, in the Coast Guard exam, they are going to tell you where you are in the world, and it's going to be Long Island, or Chesapeake Bay, or Block Island, and they will tell you what the variation is. The variation for Long Island for the Coast Guard tests is always 14 degrees west. It makes sense. If it was just that easy, it would be easy. But we have another thing that causes our another magnetic field, if you think of it that way, another hunk of metal, if you think of it that way, that's going to be affecting the compass. And that is metal on the boat. So let's assume we have a big hunk of metal right here on the boat. The compass doesn't point north, it points to magnetic north. But then this hunk of metal is actually pulling it back a little bit. So it's not going to be 14 degrees. It's going to be 14 degrees minus a little bit. Maybe that's 2 degrees. So instead of pointing my ship, this is my north, my compass, magnetic compass, instead of pointing it at 14 degrees, I might only have to point it to 12. This variation, this little change of how much it pulls over is called deviation. The way we think of that is the deviants are in the boat. Now, again, that would be really nice if it was that simple, but it's not that simple. The deviation of the boat changes with the direction that your boat is pointing in, the heading of your boat. So if I'm heading north, I might have it's going to pull, if I'm heading in this direction, it's going to pull my compass towards the metal. Right? Same boat, all I've done is change the direction that I'm going in. So before it made this, this is my direction I would go if I wanted to go because of the difference between the true north and the magnetic north. And notice this is pulling it back in that direction a little bit, because that's the side that I've got my metal on. Now I change the direction of my boat. I'm going in this direction. Now look where that metal is. So I want to go this way, but my compass gets pulled in this direction. But then it gets pulled even more in this direction. So where this might have been, 2 degrees going that way, this might be 4 degrees going that way. So the deviation of the boat, you have to look it up in a little table, and you have to base it on the direction that your boat is going in. So let's see that. So here is a problem. I'm not going to go into depth on the problem yet. So we have our cheat sheet, which is TV makes dull children add water, which is TV makes dull children, which represents true chart course. Variation that we get from the chart based on the location we are in the world. Deviation that we look up for my specific boat. And then we know what course to steer using our compass. So the Coast Guard is not going to let you use your boat. They're going to give you a deviation chart. That's what this is. It's based on the compass, the ship's heading. So if the ship is heading 0 degrees, then we have a 2 east. If it is 30 degrees, it is 3 east. How did they come up with these numbers? They measured them. They took your boat out, they pointed in a certain direction, they measured exactly what the deviation of your boat was. If they said it was, if you were going on 270 degree course, the boat was on that course, then it would be 1.5 west. So I just wanted to give a quick overview of why we have to do this conversion. We have to do it because we have a magnetic, we use a magnetic compass, and that compass points to the magnetic North Pole, not the real North Pole, and then the metal on your boat affects it. And that's why we have to do this formula. Now remember, it's TV makes dull children add water. So we do TV makes dull children, and we put a little add west. That's what the add water is reminding us to do. And then we would put a negative east. And then if we're going up, so going down is they've given us this, and they say figure this out. So we're going down in the formula. If instead they gave us the compass course and said plot it on the chart, what is the chart's course that you would do? Then you'd be going up. So going up is the opposite, so it's negative west plus east. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop this video and start another one where we're going to do this problem on page 9. Thank you.